All right, folks, welcome to a market recap. Today, I did not take any trade, but I did give the signal to the Discord. So, to those who took it, you should be up like 7 RR. And the target is at 19 RR goal, which is the final target, which is realistic. Keep in mind, trading, nothing is realistic, everything realistic. And this trade, I gave to the signal. I didn't take it myself because my rule says not to get in. But if you took it blindly, you would have been up 7 RR. So, yeah, this is the before math, this is the aftermath, this is after the market dumped, after tapping our entry, which I was looking to take after having the right model one, which the market never gave the model one, tapped it when we're straight down. And if you go to the lower time frames, this is the higher time formation block, right? You see higher time formation block, because as you guys know, when we enter our trades, we enter based on the relation blocks, which is a form of total soup, a form of a candidate of a total soup, high probably candidate of a total soup for me especially. A lot of you guys, I know that Romeo likes to trade it on based on the double top, double bottom purge, but I like mine more on the Russian block. Makes it they have their own type of candidates, right? And to keep in mind, double top, double purge are a type of a candidate of a total soup, but I like the Russian block type of candidate, which to me resonates a lot. But you can see 15-minute time frame, it was a resistance block, right? But 5-minute time frame is an order block, and the 5-minute time frame it was a threshold of the order block that performed very well, and that one met the overall tag. Got tapped, the traditional block got tapped. Eventually, we had a full on expansion afterward, right? So we could have taken it, but as you guys know, we don't take a 5-minute entry on a 15-minute time frame. Yes, in the future, if we keep on refining, getting more advanced, then we're gonna potentially take this trade without, having the right model one. We can go to the lower time frame and get that advanced. As you guys know, 4 hour to 5 minute, right? If you guys want to see the 4 hour open high look close, you have to go to the 5-minute time frame. And the 5-minute time frame is usually a better time frame for a time for alignment, but you gotta be way more advanced. You gotta be way more caution, and you gotta be way more, everything in order for you to trade that specific time frame. So yeah, that's why. Now in the higher time frame, we're overall bearish. Why we're bearish? Go to the hard top down analysis. We're gonna talk about some sort of lessons here as well. Weekly time for the weekly ERL to weekly IRL, and what I say is IRL specifically because the fair value is gonna get reversed, as well as we had a weekly CRT to the downside. All right, and we're on Tuesday, so we can go target that higher time target. That's why my target goes down here, as well as we had a daily IRL to ERL. They closed below because lower prices. We had a classic mission profile to the downside on the half of the week. We also had that's all we had. Like in a higher time frame, we had daily IRL to ERL, a daily close below because lower prices. Classic mission profile to the downside Monday half of the week. That's enough. At the lower time frame, the market causing negative with OTE and daily range, super high, super low, stable high, stable low, premium discount. Set premium daily range low. That's when premiums want to sell off. We had a 4 CRT, which is a big. This was a 4 big CRT. Then this was our execution range. The execution range matters more a bigger range because execution range is the execution, and the bigger range is just the target. We had OT, we had daily ranges, we had ranges, range high, range low, as well as we had a that's all we had. We had a bearish market profiling, right? There was some of the high, break below. So once we go above this specific high, then we can see some bullish movement. Otherwise, we would not be seeing a bullish movement because of the high that broke this low. Now, that's what we had. And yeah, had a bearish order flow, making bearish market profiling. We had a neo control profile one. The reason why at first, I'm gonna talk about this, right? So at first, I was looking to enter the London session move itself. Right, as you guys know, I can enter a London session move after 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. Right? Even I can, I'm pretty sure I can enter the London session at 5 a.m. and I'm pretty sure I could do that if it meets the requirements. If it doesn't meet the requirement, I can't. But if it does meet the requirement, I can. Right. So that's how we bypass the 6 a.m. Time, is by taking the Lenition move. But the Lenition move must be supported by a New York OTE. So we need to see that support before. So we as well, the reason why, if you go to the time frames of 4 CRT, is we had a negative profile one accumulation, 5 emission, 9 expansion, and expand to the downside. We had a negative profile 1, as I said. I don't know why I'm rewarding it. If I'm bearish, I want the agency to make a low of the day. I want agency to make the high of the day to low of the day. In case you make the low of the day, so I'm looking for a new reversal. Now go down to a lower time frame. 5 minute. What we had here was a 5 minute and a 15-minute time frame. I mean, because using time for alignment. So at the low position, we had a 21 o'clock as our CRT. 21 o'clock CRT got respected by Lenition giving us a model confirmation. But all we're wondering, like, it did it because he had closer above, but that doesn't really matter because he still give us the confirmation of the model 1, right? All the CRT didn't get respected. He didn't give the model 1 confirmations. You guys know, whenever at the end of the London session, if there's a 15-minute order block, that high is going to be, that order block is highly going to be the high of the day or low of the day. In this case, with the high of the day, right? So that order block is highly to hold even without there being CRT. But it does make it sometimes lower probability. The time makes it higher probability is if it's supported by New York, right? By New York OTE, you know, etc., etc. But as first, I was looking to short this resistance block, right? Because we had the, as you guys know, we had the, without the right or model 1, we don't take resistance block at all. We gotta have the right. We gotta have everything as must align. In this case, we had the right order block, right? The right model 1. Eventually, looking to take this resistance block short, which you can see it got tapped and it got respected and it went down lower. But I saw that there was an SMT. Then eventually, I can't take it now. The only time I take the Lenition move if New York supports it by having a New York OTE. So we had a high, low, higher high, lower low. I wanted to take this, but since it's SMT, I have to wait. Now this is no longer a Lenition move down. This is a New York move. So now I have to wait for the 159. So now I have to wait for the mile, model confirmation. Then look for the right model confirmation. Then look for the, resistance block entry. But because you can see that never offered us, and eventually market went down lower without retracing, which is cool. My rule says not to get in. I'm not gonna get in. But you can see the action did support it by having an OTE, but there was SMT. I couldn't take it because of the SMT. Now the move is no longer a Lenition move. Now it's a New York move because SMT. Because one pair took it out, the other pair didn't. Right. So now there's a New York reversal instead of a New York continuation. So unfortunately, I couldn't took it because of that, and so that's why I didn't take a trade. But if there were no SMT, I would have definitely shorted down from the resistance block. But as I said, SMT was there, so I couldn't take it. Since why? Because SMT may not hold. Right? If the SMT doesn't hold, we're still good. Right? Because if let's just say we have a Lenition move, take a Lenition move, and it's SMT, and SMT doesn't hold, Lenition move gets disrespected, right? Since we want to be a little more highly precise, we have to wait for the good confirmation. When the SMT is there, sometimes SMT may get disrespected. Because my goal is not to be highly accurate on predicting every single candle, right? My goal is not to predict every single candle, right? In this case, I can't predict if the SMT will hold or not. That's why I didn't take a trade, because I couldn't predict if the SMT will hold or not. So that's why I have to wait for confirmation, right? My goal is not to be, predict every single candle. My goal is to primarily to be, do the boring stuff to actually make money, right? Like, do something that's repeatable, duplicatable, and it's boring and profitable. That's how we eventually become profitable by doing the boring stuff, right? So if the SMT may not hold, if the SMT doesn't hold, you'll lose no money, right? But If it does hold, we have a model confirmation, then we take a model 1 confirmation, then we eventually look for the block entry, which may not get tapped sometimes, but you see there's pros and cons, but my goal is to be very highly precise, so I have to wait for that because I would have said before, I would have taken it if there was no SMT, right? But it says an SMT now. I couldn't take it because SMT is involved. So SMT is involved. Now it's no longer a move. Now it's a New York reversal instead of a New York continuation. But yeah, that's what we had for today. It was a pretty big dump, which is pretty predicted. And yeah, this is my market recap. The lesson is you just be patient, wait for your model, because my model shows up. My model showed up this last week right over here. My model showed up over here. The time before that, my model showed up again over here, pushing it down even lower, right? So my model showed up constantly. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a FOMO stage. I know that my setup, my time will come eventually. So I just gotta wait, patient, because after a long wait is when a good setup happens. And yeah, as you guys know, that's what we, want to be very picky and focus on the really high quality. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. Join us down below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. But as I said before, this move right over here could have been taken. All you gotta do is go to lower time frame. 15-minute higher time frame resistance block is lower time frame auto block. Lower time frame is the auto block. Lower auto block threshold. Push it to the downside. So if you're more advanced, you could have definitely taken a trade. But I'm not in that stage of where I could go to lower time frame because there's a time frame alignment for me is 4 to 15. It's not 4 to 5 at the moment because I'm not that advanced. So yeah, see you guys later. Peace out, and yeah, peace.